The man who lost 90 billion US dollars during the internet bubble, Masayoshi Son. Masayoshi Son now has a net worth of $23 billion, making him the most influential, richest, and powerful person in Japan. He is also widely known as the CEO of SoftBank, owning a stake in over thousands of companies, including many companies like Sprint, Alibaba, and Yahoo Japan. He is also known to make $45 billion in 45 minutes, and the person that is trying to create the first singularity. For those that don't know, what is the singularity is an artificial intelligence that can rewrite its codes to become smarter and smarter, and even one day will supersede all human intelligence. For those that don't know who Masayoshi Son, we will take some time to introduce his incredible journeys at a young age, and then to know how he made his first million, then his billions, and how he came crashing down during the internet bubble, losing 90 billion. How he came back and now stronger than ever through his life experiences. Then we will close with valuable lessons from this incredible man's life. Masayoshi Son's grandparents from South Korea, descendant, migrated to Japan seeking economic opportunity. Mr. Son was born in Japan, but growing up was very difficult since he is from Korean descendant. Japanese culture is a very homogeneous culture, where most Japanese stick with each other, and as the young Masayoshi was growing up, he was considered to be out of their circle. At the age of 16, before leaving for the United States to study economic and computer science, Mr. Son read a book wrote by Mr. Den Fujita, which was the head of McDonald's in Japan. Mr. Son was so impressed by the book that he is determined to meet Mr. Fujita at all cost. He works part-time to save up money to make long-distance calls to McDonald's headquarters and ask if he can see or talk to Mr. Fujita. Numerous attempts, almost 60 long-distance calls. Remember, long-distance call was very expensive during the 70s. Mr. Son got fed up with the assistant's continuous rejections. Mr. Son told the assistants that he heard Mr. Fujita will be attending a convention in Tokyo. Mr. Son told the assistants that he will be there dressed in certain clothing. He begs the assistants if he can just see Mr. Fujita's face for only 3 minutes. He told the assistants to pass this message and allow Mr. Fujita a chance to decide for himself whether or not he would like to meet a little 16-year-old boy. At the convention following the final call, the assistants agrees to pass the message to Mr. Fujita. Mr. Son got on a plane and went to the convention where he met Mr. Fujita. Instead of 3 minutes, Mr. Fujita gave the young Masayoshi Son 15 minutes of his time. He asked Mr. Fujita, what business should I run or should I go into in the future? Mr. Fujita replied, computer is your generation future. Mr. Son took this advice and later built an empire through his technology firm. The entrepreneur spirit in Mr. Son led him to start his own company at the age of 19. He created a pocket digital dictionary. A year later, this invention was bought by Sharp for $1.7 million. At the age of 19, Mr. Son is already climbing the wealth ladder into success. Now he is a millionaire, but his ambition did not end there. He created another company afterward, importing used video game machines on credit from Japan and installing them in dormitories and restaurants. This business venture making him another whopping $1.5 million. In combined, he is worth $3.2 million roughly at the age of 20 years old. To these two projects only took Mr. Son around 18 months from when he first started. As a promise to his mother, Mr. Son returns to Japan after finishing schools. He starts SoftBank with that $3.2 million and grew it to $70 billion before the .com crash. In today's time is equivalent to $90 billion. During the height of his career, Mr. Son was richer than Bill Gates for only 3 days, and then his empire comes crashing down as the internet bubble burst. His company market cap before the crash was $200 billion, and when the crash was over, it was only $2 billion left. Mr. Son's net worth also suffered gravely, leaving him from $90 billion to roughly around $900 million in today's money. Remaining to his passion for investment and technology, Mr. Son manages to build back his empire. Now his company market cap is roughly $80 billion, and net worth is around $23 billion. There are 2 great lessons that we can extract from Mr. Son's experience and his story. One is to be persistent and passionate about what you do. If Mr. Son doesn't have these 2 characters, SoftBank and his net worth would not be where they today. We have to be relentless at what we are determined to achieve in life. You can't just sit there and daydream. No dream will ever come true without work as well. Energy and persistence conquer all things. Benjamin Franklin. The second lesson here is for all investors to reevaluate their holdings. If the holding is no longer rational and your stock takes a nosedive, cut your loss and cut it fast. In any economic bubble like we witness many times in history, the stock will rise with thin air and will fall quickly with nothing to support. The pessimism's our best friend, and the euphoria is our enemy. Warren Buffett. In all bubbles throughout the course of history, there are many euphoric investors, and as knowledgeable investors, we should all be careful about that rush. Therefore, knowing the intrinsic value of any stock is very important to our investments. At valuesnip.com, we provide and welcome all investors to use our free intrinsic value calculators manually at all time, and we give away free credits weekly for automation to users as well. Please remember, due to our monthly fees with our API stock providers, we can only offer a limited amount of free membership subscriptions. So, what are you waiting for? Get your free subscription today before it runs out. Thank you for watching this video. See you on the next video, and if you like this video, please help us by your likes, shares, and subscribe to our channel so you don't miss our other informative videos. Thank you so much in advance. Hope you and your family enjoy the rest of the day from wherever you are.